I'm waiting to see this Guard of Honor. They better show it. That's why I'm here early. Okay, I think they're gonna show it. Players are not out yet. Oh my god, they're going to another ad break. They're going to another ad break. Let's see. Jimmy says, "Hey Jimmy, hope you're good." Caicedo, God of Honor coming. Yeah, that's that's kind of why I'm here a few minutes early. Just wanted to kind of see how it goes down. But it's the typical thing, kind of before a match starts, they show 500 different ads, so that's what they're doing. The dog has posted Liverpool lineup. Allison. Oh, okay. So it looks like Allison. I'm trying to put it in order. Trent, Kwanzaa, Van Dijk, Simicas. Trying to read this in order. Who's the defensive midfielder there? So you got Elliot. He's not going to be defensive. Oh, Endo. Okay, Endo, Elliot, Jones, Jota, Salah, Nunes. Fish says, "Happy May the 4th." May the 4th. May the 4th be with you, yo. Happy May the 4th. Yeah. That's, you are right about that. You are right about that. May the 4th be with you as well, Fish. Chelsea lineup: Sanchez, Cucurella, Chalobah, Levi Colwill. I don't know, I'm so blind today, I can't read this. Caicedo, Lavia, Fernandez, Madueke, Palmer, okay, Neto, Jackson. And there's some of the subs. Bagwell's here. Hello, Bagwell. Hope you're doing good. Okay, I think this God of Honor might be happening now. Hopefully. They've not left much time for it if it's gonna be happening now. Yeah, still waiting for the players to come out. Harry says, "Hello, how are you? I'm good, not too bad. How are you? How's your football-related injury? Are you feeling any better regarding your recovery?" Fish says, "Manchester United lost. I hate Kivior. I rather die." What's the link there, Fish? Doesn't Kivior play for Arsenal? So why does Man United losing, which is fantastic, make you hate Kivior? Adelwood here says, "Happy Sunday, champions! Happy Sunday, champions! Indeed, I've decided the thing up top is gonna say champs for the rest of the season. I don't know if that's obnoxious, but don't really care." Fish says, "Favorite Star Wars movie? This is going to be controversial here, Fish. Probably Episode 3. Probably Episode 3. I know most people. Most people say Episode 5. Episode 5 was Empire Strikes Back, right? I know most people say that, but for me, probably Episode 3. That's the one kind of growing up I was kind of looking forward to the most. So yeah. 3 was good, 5 was good, 6 was good, 4 was good, 2 was okay, 1 was okay. I don't like the new ones, 7, 8, 9. I pretend those don't exist. Durwood says, "Hope you had a great holiday." Yeah, I did, thank you. Thank you for asking. It was good. Saw a few castles, saw a few cathedrals, did a bit of exploring, put on a bit of weight. So yeah, pretty standard there. But yeah, it was good, thank you. Harry says, "I'm all right, thanks. Yeah, I'm a lot better now. I'm back in training for a bit." Okay, that's good to hear. It's good to hear. It's good to hear your recovery is going well, and that you're back in training as well. That's really good. So, God of Honor is happening. Caicedo's clapping. They're all pretty much clapping. I'm seeing if anybody's not clapping. To be honest, this isn't that big a deal. It's just a nice little gesture. Fish says, you like Revenge of the Sith? My favorite one is Return of the Jedi. So you like episode 6 then? That's episode 6, right? Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi is good. I like the green lightsaber. Luke's green lightsaber in that. I like their fight at the end, obviously. But yeah, episode 3 is my favorite because it's the one I kind of grew up with and I remember really kind of looking forward to. Speaking of Palpatine, the referee today, Simon Hooper, he does look a bit like Palpatine. Okay, we're getting into the lineups now. Sanchez in goal. Chalobah, Colwill and Cucurella at the back. Neto, Caicedo, Lavia and Madueke. So they're going to do a 3-4-2-1. Palmer and Fernandez. And Jackson up front. I saw the lineup earlier. I don't think we're going to win this. It's I don't want to say a weak lineup. It's a experimental lineup. So this is showing the Liverpool lineup now. Alisson in goal. Trent, Kwanzaa, okay. Van Dijk, Tsimikas. So this is a good opportunity for Kwanzaa. Curtis Jones and Endo. Then I presume Elliot is going to come next. Yeah. So then Elliot, Salah, Gakpo. And Jota up front by himself. What does Chiesa have to do to get a start? I don't know if there's something in this, like I don't think it's anything particularly sinister, but I don't know if it's like a financial thing whereby if Chiesa starts a certain amount of games, we then have to pay a bit more. But it's like if you're starting Kwanzaa, for example, who hasn't started a game since Ipswich, I think on the first day of the season when he got hooked off at half time. It's like, why not start Chiesa today? There must be something. Like there must have been some sort of clause with Juventus. Again, I'm probably chatting rubbish, but there must have been some sort of clause with Juventus. Like if he starts 5 games, we pay an extra 5 million or something. It must be something like that. Durwood says Elliot. Yes, happy to see Elliot starting. It's a good opportunity for him. And I think he'll do pretty well against this Chelsea team. So yeah, positive to say the least. Ryan says, I don't understand why Liverpool even has him. Is this Chiesa? Yeah. It's like surely you'd play him in this game at the very least. I mean, again, it's a case of where we say, okay, Chiesa didn't start. Let's hope he comes on at least. But even then, let me try. Oh, they started. Jesus Christ! Let me set the. Just waiting for the timer to align. Liverpool started brightly. I know it's only been 2 seconds. Trent, Salah. Liverpool playing very, very high. Saved. What the Celtic says is chilled now. We've already won. True. It's pretty. It is pretty relaxed today. It's a good opportunity for those players who haven't really had an opportunity during the year to kind of showcase their ability. Which is kind of why we wanted to see. Chiesa. But it is what it is. Let's hope he comes on. Ryan says it's just such a waste. It is, and then the whole situation is weird. I'm sure we'll find out the reasoning in a book or some sort of news article in 5 years when no one cares anymore. But right now the situation's quite bizarre. Harry asks, what do you reckon the score will be? I mean, we are playing, I don't want to say a weak lineup. We are playing an experimental lineup, so I think we will concede probably 1-1, to be honest. Because I think typically as well, once you've won the league, there's less motivation for the players on the pitch to kind of bother. I know we're playing players who don't kind of typically start, but even then, probably 1-1. But yeah, what do you think? Fish says, I know you won't be baby, I bet you won't be too. Is that a lyric? Is that like Justin Bieber or something? Harry says he's a bench warmer. Yeah, is this Chiesa again? The whole situation's weird. And I've made the mistake again of leaving my phone on, which has now sent me a notification to say Enzo Fernandez scores with the right foot shot. But for me, it's still 0-0 as far as I can see. And Chelsea have got the ball in defence. I'm going to turn my phone upside down after this. Okay, somebody fell over there. I think it was Curtis Jones. And then they're breaking down the right-hand side. Palmer. Yeah. So you know when I said 5 seconds ago, I don't think anyone's really going to bother because their league's already won. We might have been right with that prediction. Let's change it to Chelsea 1, Champions 0. But it's okay. Fish says, I am in school. What are you studying at school? That is the question. What are you studying at Sunday school? No, I called the right that. Yeah. Harry says Slot or Klopp. Ooh. They're both good at different things. I'd say Klopp is perhaps a better man manager, whereas Slot is perhaps a better tactician. Would that be fair to say? That's not to say Klopp is a poor tactician, because I think he tactically beat Guardiola kind of multiple times, and that's not to say Slot is a poor man manager, because he seems to have endeared himself to the playing squad. So yeah, I'd say they both kind of have strengths. Fish says, "Whoa, are you Rio Ferdinand?" The answer is yes, but I won't miss a drug test like the Rio Ferdinand. Durwood says, "Ugh, yeah." Like Fernandez was just in kind of so much space, and again, my phone's telling me more things. So I'm gonna just for God's sake. I need to turn the notifications off of that app. Okay. Yeah. I don't think the players are going to particularly bother today, and Chelsea are through here again. Again, they just walk. They just. I think that was Madueke there. They're just walking through the midfield. So Madueke gets the ball from the halfway line. Trent is nowhere to be seen. Trent's on holiday at the halfway line. Yeah. The team looks half asleep. The team looks hungover, but it's kind of what we expected. Fish says, "No, Enazio Fernandez." Yeah, it's a shame they scored, but it's like also like kind of tough to care. Harry says, "Chelsea scored. Boo! I only just realized." Yeah, it's like provided we don't get battered. I can't say I'll be overly kind of fussed. Let's see what Elliot can do. Ooh, Elliot gets dispossessed there. Van Dijk leaving it for Alisson to pick up, and Alisson does pick it up. What the Celtics says the best football teams in my opinion. Celtic 1, Liverpool 2, Scotland 3. Fair enough. So then you must be a very big Andy Robertson fan because he's been a part of all three. I'm trying to think. Are there any others who have been part of all three? Kenny Dalglish, did he ever play for the YNWA? I'm pretty sure Kenny Dalglish played for Scotland. Sorry, not Scotland. Well, he did. Celtic, right? Yeah, Kenny Dalglish. Kenny Dalglish and Andy Robertson must be your two favourite players, with that in mind. Delwood says, I know we won the league, but beating Chelsea would make it even better. It would make it even better. It would put a nice little cherry on top. Especially since it's at their own ground. But after kind of seeing the lineup, I was like, yeah, this is going to be tough. Because from Chelsea's perspective as well, they've perhaps got something to prove to say, look, we're playing the champions. We had to give them a damn guard of honour. So Chelsea are going to play are going to give an extra 50%, whereas I think Liverpool league's already won, so they're probably going to give 50% less. Fish says no Enzo Fernandez, and I think, I mean, your starring is quite consistent there, Fish. So you start all the even numbers. You haven't made any typos. So I'm quite impressed. I'm quite impressed with the dedication that you used there. Defts says, I think 6 out there playing are not at the club next year. Okay, interesting. Who would those 6 be? So in terms of the ones that are rumoured to be getting transfers, as far as I can see, let's see if I can get to 6 as well. Kwanzaa, Tsimikas, 2, Endo, Elliot, possibly Jota. So I've got like 4.5. So I'm wondering who the 6 are. Oh, Gakpo's through. Sorry, I got a bit too overexcited there for a dead rubber. Oh yeah, obviously Trent. How did I miss the most obvious one? Jackson's through here. Alisson might just have fouled him. Is that like a sending off for Alisson? I hope not, because that looked pretty bad. Oh, it's offside. It's offside. We're okay. We're okay. Okay, so Trent, Jota. So that's your 2. Kwanzaa is 3. Tsimikas is 4. Elliot is 5, and presumably Endo is the 6th one. So perhaps that's what the manager's doing here, trying to not necessarily give them one last chance, but basically see if it's worth kind of keeping them around for next season. If those 6 do go, I think that's a significant amount of money that could come in. Again, I don't want to be too deluded here, so kind of everyone correct me if I'm wrong, but like Kwanzaa about 40 million, Tsimikas about 15, that's 55. Endo about 10, 65. Elliot about 50, 115. Jota about 50, call it 150 million. So that would be a significant amount of money coming in. Whipped in by Tsimikas. Nothing happened. What the Celtics said, I had to give the leavers at my school a guard of honor. Were you clapping during a guard of honor, or were you just standing there like a tough guy? You're like, yeah, not clapping for these guys. I did not have to back in the day. I'm trying to. It must be a new thing. We didn't have to do that back in the day. Fish says, I hate Enzo. I just hate him. He's not a good player at all. So you hate Enzo, and you also hate Kivio. Are there any other players that you hate? Or is it these two specifically? I do think Enzo's a bit overrated. Like, didn't they purchase him? Why am I using big words? Didn't they buy him for like 105 million? I don't think he's worth 105 million. I think his value is perhaps inflated off the back of the World Cup. But yeah, he's not 105 million pound player. But he is good. He is good. Deft says yes, and Paul Chiesa. Oh yeah, of course. We were talking about that at the start. We can't really understand why he's not starting today of all games. I mean, he started Kwanzaa, who last I remember, Kwanzaa started the Ipswich game, which was the first game of the season, and then he pulled him off at half time because he wasn't winning enough duels. So if that guy can start, why is Chiesa not starting? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. To speculate, I don't know if it's a case, and again, this is pure speculation. I don't know if there's some sort of clause in the contract to say if Chiesa starts a certain amount of games, you have to pay Juventus more money. And I don't know if he's at the limit for that. Oh, Gakpo crosses it in. Salah just misses the ball. So I don't know if it's a financial thing. Like if he starts one more game, then you've got to pay extra money. I don't know. But I want to see him, and it seems like Chiesa is who everyone wants to see. Deft says, I don't really rate Jones. Yeah, Jones is kind of hot and cold. He's a consistent 5 out of 10, which is that a good thing or a bad thing? You know what I mean? He's a consistent 5 out of 10. But I'm not sure, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Like, Jones very rarely has like a 2 out of 10 game, but on the other hand, very rarely has a 9 out of 10 game. I don't mind him as a squad player, but yeah, he wouldn't be a starter for me. It's just like a lot of kind of, I don't know, it's cliched a bit, but just like a lot of kind of sideways passing, recycling the ball. And I know that's needed, but sometimes I'd like to see him, you know, make a few kind of more penetrative passes and that sort of thing. But yeah, he's okay. Nothing special, I'd say. What the Saldic says, I got sprayed with silly string. But is this when you left high school, or were other people leaving? Because you mentioned you had to give a guard of honor to the people who were leaving high school. So they were leaving and they still sprayed you? That doesn't seem fair. Fish says, Robert Sanchez has a nice bold head. He's a complete egghead. Yeah, just like our manager, just like Simon Hooper, just like quite a few people on the pitch there. Def says, love Endo, true pro. Yeah, true professional, doesn't really complain, kind of gets on with it, sets a good example to everyone. I really want to see Endo stay next year. Part of the reason for that is because he's a true professional, as you said. The other side of the coin is, okay, he just missed the ball there, but I think that was Trent's fault. I don't think we'll get much money for him. Just keep him around. He's a good guy. Not good enough. Yeah, this is Curtis Jones. Yeah, for me, as I was saying, he's a consistent 5 out of 10, but I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Kind of thing. Sometimes I do think he kind of takes a bit too long to kind of release the ball. And he did get better at it. He did get better at it for a time period, and now he seems to have regressed again a bit. But yeah, I don't think he'll get sold. I don't think he'll get sold. Pixelated Suit says the GOAT is back. Presume you're talking about yourself. But yeah, how you doing? Hope you're good. You look tan. The Czech sun treated you well. Too well. Like I don't really like hot weather. Like I'm not like a hot weather guy, as you can tell. Like completely like covered in hair. So like I don't like hot weather. And the 3 days I was there, it was the hottest. Like it was like 25, 26 degrees every single day, completely kind of boiling hot. And then after I left it went back down to 15 degrees. So I was thinking, yeah, fantastic timing. Um, but yeah, no, it was good. It was pretty good. I just had to kind of wake up early, do stuff in the morning, not do kind of too much stuff during the not do too much stuff kind of during the day because it's too hot, and then do stuff during the evening. But yeah, it was good. Pretty good. I'm still pretty out of it, as you can tell, because I don't think I'm making much sense today. But never mind. What the Celtic says, now I'm about to join second year. Okay. So is that of like sixth form? Of like sixth form, like college. So second year would be the final year, I guess. What's Semicast doing here? Pixel says, "Did you try any Pilsner?" Yeah, it was pretty good. It seems to be the national thing over there because there were kind of posters for it everywhere. So I saw like a poster for it, and I was like, "Oh, that's what Pixel was talking about." But yeah, it was pretty good. Food's pretty good. Drinks pretty good. Castles are pretty good. Cathedrals were pretty good. So yeah. I'm still out of it today. I don't think I'm making much sense, to be honest. Dawood says hi. Pixel says good morning, my friend. Fish says chicken jockey. What you want? Chicken jockey. I am Steve. Yeah. I don't know what that. I don't know what that means. Aren't you in school? Aren't you in school anyway, Fish? As you said earlier. Still haven't bloody scored. Chelsea just passing it around now. Long ball. Kwanzaa should deal with that. Allison picks it up. Trent, Kwanzaa, Van Dijk, Kwanzaa. I'll be really interested to see kind of what happens with Kwanzaa in the summer. I've got an odd feeling that he might get sold. And whenever I mention that, kind of, not that I necessarily agree with it, but I might agree with it. Like I do like Kwanzaa. I do think he's very good on the ball. He's a good tackler. He's physically quite good. My only kind of slight concern about Kwanzaa is I'm not convinced he's got the raw pace to be a Liverpool centre back. Liverpool played with a very high line, as I'm sure you guys have seen. Playing with a high line needs your centre backs to be rapid to kind of get back, to make up the distance, and I'm not sure kind of Kwanzaa has the raw pace for that. Here he is now, and yeah, almost got outpaced by Jackson. And it's tough because you can't really increase your pace. But I don't know. I might be talking nonsense. What the Celtic says, no, in Scotland you do 6 years of high school. Okay, 6 years of high school. We did 5, but 6 years. I've learnt something today. I did not know that. Chalobah, Colwell. Back to Chalobah. Cole Palmer. Boots it up the pitch. They are trying it on with Kwanzaa here. Like Jackson is playing on the shoulder of Kwanzaa, trying to get onto kind of long balls and use his pace. every ball that goes to Salah, he just completely misses it. Just kind of completely misses the ball. Madueke, Enzo. Chelsea are playing like a team who has things to play for. Liverpool are playing like a team who went out last night, got pretty hungover, and then had to come to work on a Sunday afternoon. Pixel with possibly three frogs. Let's see if I can zoom in on it to see what they are. I don't even know what they are. Are they like frogs? It's something with like a yellow face. Delwood says, back in the day when I was in high school, it was 4 years. When my oldest went, it was 5 years. My youngest son was 6 years. It seems to be something that they increment then every few years. I didn't know it was 4 back in the day. But yeah, it was 5 for me. 6 for what, the Celtic. Maybe 7. Maybe 7 soon. Fish says you'll never walk alone, you'll never swim alone. And what's the other one you've said? You'll never blub alone. Ooh, through to Salah, and I think Deft has kind of summed it up there. Salah must be wearing someone else's boots, because we've had quite a few kind of instances now where the ball's been played to Salah, and like he just hasn't controlled the ball. Like his first touch seems kind of non-existent today. But come on, we do need Salah to kind of I was going to say apply himself. The phrasing apply himself is probably a tad harsh. But we do need Salah to make a bit of an effort today, because we need to get him up the GA ranking to break a few more records. Pixel says it was 4 for me. Wow, interesting. Could be a regional thing then. Like for us, I was fairly sure it's always been like 5 years. But yeah, I've heard like 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. So yeah, it's pretty interesting how these things vary. Oh my God, Gakpo just got pushed off the ball by Caicedo. And Gakpo went flying. Foul's been given. Oscar Hiff says who? Who indeed? Grade 7 to 8 were junior high, but it seems like they got rid of that. Okay. Interesting. For us, like it was. Again, it's kind of hard to explain. Like we have like 5 years, which I think is like junior high, and then after that we have 2 years of college, and then after that a few years of university. It's extremely confusing. Speaking of university, here's somebody who's never been to university. Kostak Simikas. Actually didn't put in too bad a cross there. Trent plays it back in. Headed out, goes to Endo, goes back to Kostas Simikas. Gakpo plays it to Trent. Trent is very central today. I don't know what that's about, because Trent's been out wide for a significant portion of the season, but today he's playing quite centrally. Fish says glory glory Fish United. Fish United. As you can tell, I'm just so out of it today. But yeah, Fish United over Man United 100% of the time. Brentford were savage, yeah. It was 4-1 when I checked, and then towards the end it was 4-3. But thankfully they held on. Endo through here, but it gets cleared out. Brentford were savage, but like Man United keep getting battered by pretty much every team they face in the Premier League. I know they did well against Bilbao in the Europa League, but again, this makes the whole argument of it being the weakest Premier League ever, it makes that argument look even more silly. Because you've got Man United who are in like 15th, Spurs who are in like 16th, and are consistently getting battered in the league, doing very well in Europe. So that doesn't say it's a weak Premier League, that says it's a very strong Premier League, because these teams who are in the kind of Europa League final pretty much are not very good in the Premier League. So surely the Premier League's strong and not weak. That must be it. Pixel says you can really feel McAllister's absences. Yeah, we are lacking a technical orchestrator in the middle of the park. McAllister has this way of doing a lot without kind of people realizing. So I do think you're right there in terms of when he's not there, then we notice. The passing isn't quite up to snuff today with the midfield. The pressing isn't quite there. I think we saw as well, it was a few games ago when McAllister wasn't playing, the midfield performance looked quite disjointed as it looks here today. And then as soon as McAllister came on, we were doing very good again. So yeah, 100% we kind of feel his absence. I hope he's on the bench. He is. McAllister's on the bench. Szoboszlai's on the bench. So we might see a few changes there soon enough. Durwood says, I'm surprised Salah is trying harder. He can pass another milestone if he scores two. Yeah, that's kind of, yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. Is it the Thierry Henry assists record? Something like that? Yeah. It is, yeah, it's one of those. He just did a pretty good pass there, though. Yeah, he doesn't look too eager at the moment, but I'm hoping he turns it around. It's gone to Elliot here. Trent on the edge of the box. Trent should have really passed it to Salah there, but Trent decided to be greedy and smack it. But yeah, even though I'm not particularly fussed about this result, if Salah can get a few more GA, that would be fantastic. Durwood asks, what are your thoughts on the rumours that Mbeumo is coming to Liverpool? Oh, have those rumours intensified again? There were quite strong rumours about that earlier in the season, and then it kind of quietened down. Are those rumours back? He's a good player, Mbeumo. Trent crosses it in, goes to Elliot, goes to Jota. Cleared out. He's a good player, natural right winger, naturally kind of left footed. I like it when we buy players from Premier League teams who then jump up a level. So kind of what we did with Sadio Mane. I'm not convinced he's quite as quick as Sadio Mane was, but to be fair, not many people are. Palmer's through here, but I think he still has quality. I wouldn't mind him as a squad option, I think. But if the plan is for Mbeumo to come in and eventually take over from Salah, then I might have some reservations. But he's a good option. It's always a safer bet buying players who've proven it in the Premier League to a certain degree, I think. And it's another bold player as well, so our manager will be very happy about that. Harry asks, what's your most favourite Premiership rivalry? It's tough to call a rivalry a favourite because you hate the other side, if you know what I mean. Probably Liverpool Everton, because we just batter them every single time because it's an easy 6 points. But like I wouldn't call. Yeah, probably Liverpool Everton because it's not really a rivalry. I was trying to kind of think about who else. The Liverpool City rivalry with kind of Klopp and Pep, that had some memorable moments, but Yeah, it's tough for me to call a rivalry a favorite because I just hate the other side, if you know what I mean. Durwood says, "I love the fans chanting Nunes." Are they still chanting Nunes? You've got you've got to respect the kind of dedication, and you've got to respect the kind of love they're giving to a player who, let's be honest, hasn't really performed. But if we just leave that to the side for a second, the fact that they're still supporting this guy is something that you only see at very few clubs. So if Trent does go to Madrid, like he's not gonna get this at Madrid. You know what I mean? Like if Trent fails to perform, Madrid fans are not gonna sing his name 3 years later. Chelsea just hit the ball there, but yeah. So yeah, quite a respectful fan base, and I think the respectfulness kind of manifested itself again during the celebration. So we didn't have any kind of pitch invasions or anything like that, which is fantastic because it's not good from like a player safety perspective, and it just shows kind of how much people respect the team. Delwood says, Mbemo was given the green light for 60 million. Wow, okay. Interesting. I would say Mbemo for 60 million is probably like a decent. It's a decent deal. It's decent. He's a good player. 60 million feels a tad high, but the other side of the coin is that's the kind of market these days. I'm just trying to think who are the alternatives. If you look at Isak, he'd probably cost a lot more than that. Alvarez would cost a lot more than that. Cunha would cost a bit more, but it seems like the kind of team doesn't really fancy him for whatever reason. So yeah, I wouldn't be too annoyed. I wouldn't be overjoyed, but I wouldn't be too annoyed. But equally, I wasn't overjoyed when Mane signed. I wasn't overjoyed when Salah signed. Who's this Chelsea reject? I know he did okay at Fiorentina and Roma, but why are we spending this much on this random Egyptian player? So I wasn't too overjoyed when Salah signed either. But it's more of a, if it happens, let's kind of wait and see, I guess. The new kind of structural regime hasn't made too many mistakes so far. So let's. I'd be cautiously optimistic. Those are the words I'd use. Harry says, I would say United City. Okay, in terms of a favorite rivalry, is that kind of modern day, or is it like 10 years ago with Pellegrini and Alex Ferguson? Because right now, kind of United's rivals are probably like Ipswich and that sort of thing. Simicas, Van Dijk, back to Alisson. Liverpool have steadied themselves to a certain degree here. It's not quite as frantic as the first 5 minutes. Let's see what Gakpo can do. Gakpo to Jones. Oh, Jones gets tackled, but the ball gracefully rolls to Jota. Jota plays it to Trent. Again, why is Trent so central? Goes to Salah out wide. Goes to Trent. He's going to cross it in. He does cross it in. Poor cross. Headed out by Neto for a corner. Harry says both, really. Fair enough. I guess from a neutral perspective, it is quite an interesting rivalry. Especially because, like, back in the day, you could say United was the dominant ones and City were kind of rubbish, and now that's kind of flipped around. Corner now, and I've turned my phone upside down so I can't see what happened. I mean, the smarter thing to do would be to disable the notifications, but I always forget. Trent's crossing it in because, of course, McAllister's not on the pitch. Crossed into Van Dijk. Saved. Chelsea going to try and counter now. Cucurella. Enzo Fernandez. Cole Palmer's another player who's kind of linked with an exit to a certain degree. Wouldn't mind him. Chelsea need to stop kind of linking players with exits as soon as they stop performing, because then they really struggle to build up a team ethic by doing it that way. Enzo Fernandez, terrible pass, goal kick. Taken short. Van Dijk passes it right back to Alisson. Because clearly we have all day. Salah loses the ball again. I know there's zero chance of Salah being hungover, but he's playing like he's a bit hungover. Jones now. Back to Tsimikas. Van Dijk. This whole performance is a bit naff. Colwill. Yeah, I think without Gravenberch and McAllister in particular, I think we are lacking a bit of intelligence in the midfield with respect to kind of finding space, with respect to kind of getting out of tight spaces, with respect to playing the right pass. It's tough to form too many conclusions off this because we did just win the league, so motivation is probably not what it usually is, but midfield just feels completely non-existent here. The defense is doing their job to a certain degree. And Gakpo's looked bright. Jota just looks more knackered than I am right now. Harry says, I just realised the mistake I did. I misworded it. I was meant to say, what do you reckon the best rivalries are in the Prem? Do you mean like the best rivalries of all time from a historical perspective? Because in terms of right now, if we go from a right now perspective, kind of what rivalries are there really? In it doesn't really feel like this season's. Maybe this season's a bit of an anomaly to a certain degree because I think Liverpool have walked the league, and I think when you walk the league, it's tough to call anything a rivalry. But in general terms, in general kind of modern terms, Salah crosses it in. I'd still pick the kind of Liverpool versus Everton one for me. Partly because I think Everton are just completely hopeless, and they're just at such opposite ends of the scale, if you know what I mean. Whereas if we look at the other rivalries, kind of Spurs, Arsenal, they're at similar levels. I know Arsenal would find that offensive, but they are kind of similar-ish levels. What other kind of rivalries are there? Man United, City. I'd say even though City are ahead, I think we still have to kind of take Man United's history into perspective to a certain degree and say, okay, they're kind of relatively at same levels, even though City are ahead right now. Whereas kind of what I find amusing about the Liverpool-Everton one is that Liverpool are just kind of leagues ahead. And what makes the rivalry quite interesting is how Everton still make it a tough game and somehow find an extra 100% whenever they play Liverpool. So I think that makes the rivalry all the more interesting. Like what other like Chelsea, Arsenal don't really can't say I'm particularly fussed about that rivalry. Newcastle, I guess it would be Newcastle Sunderland, but Sunderland aren't around right now. Looking at the mid-table there, a lot of kind of London clubs: Fulham, Crystal Palace, West Ham. They don't really feel like they have any particularly intense rivalries. Villa, Birmingham City are not around in the Premier League, so Villa don't really have a rival. Yeah, Liverpool, Everton, I'd say. Liverpool's attempts at playing the ball are thwarted once again. His Neto versus Simicast. Don't let him cut inside. He does let him cut inside, but thankfully Neto kind of shoots wide. I'm surprised Neto's fit. Doesn't he play like 5 seconds a year? But he does look pretty sharp today. You can't show him inside though. I don't know what Simicast is doing there. I appreciate nothing happened, but he just let. You know Neto is left-footed. You know he's going to cut inside. And what does Simicast do? Goes out wide and lets him cut inside. Oh God, they're through here. Madueke should surely score that. Madueke does score that, but players have got their hands up. I did predict 1-1 at the start of the game, so I might be correct. Yeah, Jackson was a mile offside there, to be fair. Salah on the floor again. Gakpo. Enzo. Trent just kind of ran into Maresca, but I think it was an accident. It'll be interesting to see as well who comes in from a right back perspective, because it looks like Trent is going to leave. And I do like Conor Bradley. I know many people like Conor Bradley, but the injuries are a bit of a concern. Poor pass by Cucurella. Goes back to Alisson, to Van Dijk. Chelsea are pressing so hard. Chelsea want this, and you can't even be annoyed at that. 1 minute of injury time, thank the Lord. Because this has been a tough watch. You know what was not a tough watch? Barcelona versus Inter Milan. That was fantastic. Looking forward to the second leg of that. Again, Lavia just beats Gakpo to the ball. Lavia turns, Lavia creates space. Lavia plays it to Cucurella. Cucurella in about a mile of space on the left, because where is Trent? The midfield is just completely missing. it's tough to care too much, but equally, it's like, come on, guys. Goes back to Allison. Half time. As Harry has said there, half time. Yeah, pretty poor game of football. Hopefully we get some decent kind of subs at half time. Want to see McAllister. Want to see Szoboszlai. Hopefully these guys can kind of turn it around. Harry asks opinions of first half. Yeah, pretty rubbish, to be honest. Kind of felt like the midfield was completely missing. The midfield was repeatedly kind of getting bypassed. It was almost like the midfield wasn't there. I don't know what you thought. It'd be interested to hear what you thought. But the team was playing like they were pretty hungover. It's kind of how I'd characterize it. And again, I appreciate we've won the league now, so there isn't really anything to play for. So there isn't really much reason to go chase the ball. There isn't really much reason to go close that player down. But I'd like to have seen a bit more. But equally, I'm not, as you can tell by my facial expression, not too fussed, to be honest. I think equally we can say we've not been up to it, but I think equally Chelsea have looked quite organised. So it'll be interesting to see how. It'll be interesting to kind of see how Chelsea do next season. It's still better to win though, says Harry. Yeah, 100%. 100% would still kind of rather win. It's always exciting to see goals. It's always exciting to see your team perform. It certainly keeps us all more entertained if we kind of actually bother a little bit. But yeah. To sum up, boring as hell would be the technical term. Would be the accurate description for that. But it can be remedied. It can be remedied. If we look at our bench, if I can find the damn thing, Chiesa is on the bench, and we know everyone wants to see Chiesa. Diaz is on the bench. Diaz would inject a bit of creativity, a bit of pace, and a bit of urgency into proceedings. The weird thing is, though, I think Gakpo has looked quite good. So I'd be happy to see Diaz come on, but perhaps central. Even though I do prefer Diaz on the left, he would inject a bit of kind of creativity into what we're seeing. McAllister, he'd be a good option to come on. Szoboszlai as well. Yeah, so there are good opportunities. There are good options on the bench, but equally, I think he did go with this lineup to kind of see what they could do. So perhaps we shouldn't throw in the towel just yet, but maybe on 60 minutes. Durwood says this game is really dragging. It is. It's so dragging. Did we have like a shot on goal? Again, if we hadn't won the league, I'd be a bit more upset and a bit more angry. But just trying to find some stats here. Apparently we've had 4 shots and 1 on target. I don't remember any of those. We've had a corner. I remember the corner because Trent took it. But yeah, pretty dull first half, if I'm honest. Hopefully we turn this around. I'm gonna grab a drink, and then I'll be back in about 2 minutes. Hopefully, Slot sorts this out. But yeah, be back in 2 minutes. Yeah, a lot of comments online are saying, I just want to see Chiesa. I'm with you on that. People praising Endo. I think Endo's done quite good. Nice preseason friendly. I guess that it does kind of have a preseason friendly vibe to it. I can't lie. It wasn't bad, but we need to ship both Nunes and Jota this summer. I mean, I appreciate that, but like Nunes hasn't even been playing this game. But so it's probably more of a general point. Someone says you can't change the entire midfield and expect much. True. Midfield has looked a bit disjointed, I'd say. People are saying this is perhaps why Slot hasn't really rotated players during the season. There may be a point in that. Watching Jones makes me sad. Such an uninspiring player. Yeah. Pixel says the timer is still going. It is. The timer's been the most exciting thing about this game. To be honest, the timer's still going, and we are just about going, still going by watching this. But yeah, thanks for the heads up. I should really fix that. Unfortunately, we can't set the timer back to 90 as much as we'd hope. So we'll set it to 45. Yeah, people asking why Jones isn't really passing the ball. I mean, he is passing the ball, but perhaps not in the direction that people want. I'm presuming there'll be a lot of hate for Jota. Jota is trending. This version of Jota is one of the worst strikers to ever put on the Liverpool shirt, says somebody. Perhaps, but it's tough to judge the attack too much when the midfield's been non-existent. Yeah, people saying 2023, Caicedo, Lavia and Enzo rejected Liverpool. And 2025, they gave them a guard of honour. Colwell playing pretty well. Levi Colwell has won 100% of his duels and 100% of his tackles in the first half. So apparently Slot has said he is going to play Chiesa so that he gets a medal. So that's nice news. Players coming back out. Unfortunately, there's not another guard of honour at half time. that would be taking the mick a little bit. Goku says football must be very easy when some crazy Hungarian isn't chasing you around the whole pitch. True, and I think that shows what value Szoboszlai kind of adds to the team. Okay, he doesn't get enough goals. Okay, he doesn't get enough assists, but I think his physicality is kind of unmatched. And when he's not in the pitch, you see the difference. And it isn't just this game. It was similar kind of earlier in the season as well when he was out injured. You see the difference. That's kind of why he was starting every single game. Players back out early by the looks of it. Slot's team talk was probably, yeah, whatever. Don't care. Go back out. Just seeing some replays of Endo. Pretty nice turn to get past Enzo. But thank the Lord, the second half starting. And it has started, so I will fix the timer. Chelsea attacking left to right now. Jones wins the ball back. Elliott with the ball. Come on, you're in a bit of space now. Do something with it. Loses it. Elliott almost had a bit too much time there. Goes back out, throw in. Trent takes a quick throw in. Okay, quick throw in's a positive because that shows a bit of urgency. Goes to Endo. Kwanzaa. Van Dijk. Simicast. Jones. Van Dijk. Jones. Gakpo. Jones. Chelsea, it's almost like Chelsea have got more players on the pitch. That's how weird this kind of looks at the moment. Nice patch there by Jones. Surely Gakpo was fouled there. He was fouled. Free kick. Okay, already in the first minute we're seeing a bit more urgency. So if the players show a bit more urgency, we get our energy back as well. Oh, that was a nice turn by Palmer. Jota was kind of coming in for the tackle and Palmer just kind of turned and just kind of left Jota for dead. I do like Cole Palmer and the permanent gormless facial expression that he has. Something quite endearing about knowing that there's absolutely nothing going on in the head. Sanchez now taking a goal kick. Again, midfield gets bypassed. Fish said hi. Is that because I mentioned Sanchez, your favorite bold player? Fish says we need Mbeumo, sir. That's you might be onto something. It's something Durwood mentioned earlier that apparently it's 60 million that he'd cost, and there is kind of interest. I think Mbeumo is a good player. He seems like one of those players who can kind of take the step up, if you know what I mean. He plays for a good team right now. Is it Brentford or is it? I think it's Brentford, isn't it? Oh, Salah's through here. Oh, fucking shit pass though. He was in the perfect opportunity and he just played a terrible pass. Oh my god, don't score. Oh, Endo defends. Thankfully we've got Endo. But yeah, And Buemo does feel like one of those players who could make the kind of step up from a good Premier League team to an elite Premier League team. In our kind of most successful era, that's what we did. We signed Sadio Mane from Southampton, made the step up. Signed Adam Lallana from Southampton, made the step up. Signed Virgil van Dijk from Southampton, made the step up. A lot of people said 75 million was a lot for Van Dijk back in the day, myself included. Who else did we sign? Signed Wijnaldum from Newcastle, made the step up. So, if this is someone they're interested in, I'd be cautiously optimistic. But more optimistic than cautious. Oh God, Trent completely missed the ball there. Chelsea, Madueke thankfully can't pass. Madueke passes it straight back to Jones. Intercepted by Elliott, goes back to Jones. Jones to Elliott. We're just going to... Okay, Elliott plays it forward. Fair enough to Salah. Good pass by Jones there. Salah on the wing versus Cucurella. Salah kind of twisting and turning. Goes to... Why is Van Dijk in the number 10 position? Like the ball just kind of rolled into the number 10 position for someone to take a shot. And I was like, who's going to take a shot? It's bloody Van Dijk. What's Van Dijk? You see the ball just like rolling. And you see someone running up to take a shot. It's bloody Van Dijk. What's he doing over there? Van Dijk doesn't give an F either if he's playing attacking midfield today. You would not have seen that earlier in the season. That's pretty safe to say. Van Dijk gets a booking for taking a shot, because apparently taking a shot's not allowed in the modern Premier League. Chelsea take a free kick and they kick it right out. Goes back to Alisson. Alisson to Kwanzaa. Chelsea, again, our midfield's trash today because Chelsea just get the ball back from the midfield. Whilst I'm not quite at that stage yet, I am having thoughts of, okay, I've seen enough, bring on McAllister. Not quite there yet, but slowly reaching that point of desperation. Van Dijk, long ball to absolutely nobody. And it goes out, goal kick. I can take a drinks break because let's be honest, absolutely nothing's going to happen. Maresco chewing his gum, but thankfully not how Pep and Mikel Arteta were doing it the other day. Van Dijk to Kwanzaa. Again. Fish has posted an updated top 10 hottest footballers list. Number 1 is Henry. Number 2 is Odegaard. Number 3 is 11. Is this in like ascending order? So is Thierry Henry like your hottest footballer? 3 is Lewandowski. 4 is Szczesny. 5 is Rakitic. 6 is Pele. I presume he means there. 7 is Vidal. 8 is Mamadou. Who's Mamadou Fall? Like Mamadou Sakho or someone else? 9 is Mamadashvili, 10 is Kvaradana. Those are some good kind of selections, but your list was quite different the other day. Didn't you have... Who was on your list the other day? Messi was on the list. See, Carlos Vela was your number one. So Carlos Vela was your number one the other day, Fish, and now Carlos Vela is not on the list anymore. Carlos Vela might be quite upset about that. Durwood says Jones is starting to play. Yeah, he is. He's showing a bit more urgency now, a bit more intelligence, a bit more nous, which is great for us because it'll wake us up. It'll wake us up from the torment that is this game. Game stops again. Fish says Google Mamadou Fall. Okay, this is this player's actual name. Okay. Mamadou Fall. Senegalese footballer. Centre back. Fair enough. Palmer through. What the fuck was that? What the hell was that? What on God's green earth or God's blue earth or hell just happened there? And I think Durwood has summed it up with the WTF with a question mark and an exclamation mark. And Pixel has also summed it up with the bruh. I didn't even see what happened there. I was too busy looking at Fish's top 10 hottest footballers list. So Cole Palmer, ball on the right. Did Van Dijk kick it into Kwanzaa's balls and then own goal courtesy of Kwanzaa's crotch? Is that what happened? Is that what happened? Well, Kwanzaa's definitely taking advantage of his opportunity, so we'll increment the score. It's like the first time playing together. It is. It looks. That's kind of how disjointed it looks, to be honest. I appreciate kind of players need to kind of get rhythm. Players need to get back into form. But yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Jones doing the Bellingham, jogging around the box. WTF? Yeah, it's not great, shall we say? Now Kwanzaa thinks he's Matip, and Kwanzaa's trying to run past the whole team. Dawood says a damn own goal, and a funny own goal at that. But this is what happens to this team. This is. We win a few games, we get arrogant, and then we get battered. We win a few games, we think, okay, we're going to beat Plymouth, and we lose to Plymouth. We win a few games, we think we're going to beat PSG, we lose to PSG. Oh, God. Sonny says, after all the match Inter versus Barcelona, I don't know if Barcelona will go through. Second leg is in Inter home ground. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. if Barcelona are having trouble defending at home, it's going to be even more difficult away. I think when I started watching that game on Wednesday, it was already 2-0. I think Thuram scored a header within like 3 minutes and then got another one after that. Dumfries got like 2 goals and an assist, got 3 GA. So yeah, if the right back is getting 3 GA away from home, you're gonna struggle. You're gonna struggle at home. Van Dijk is he did not look happy. I appreciate he's built up a kind of relationship with Kwanzaa and a way of playing with Kwanzaa, but not Kwanzaa, with Konate. But Kwanzaa needs to do a bit better with respect to his kind of positioning there. Here comes Nunes and Bradley. Yeah. They'll inject a bit of urgency. I saw Jota going off, so I think that was Nunes. And did Bradley come on for Trent? I'm just kind of double checking. Yeah, Bradley came on for Trent. Okay, positive kind of substitutions, I think. Let's see what difference this makes. I don't think Trent was doing too badly, but Bradley in general seems to put in a bit more kind of effort than Trent does, so might as well try something. Fish says Oxlade-Chamberlain is live against Fenerbahce. Are they playing right now? We could do with Oxlade-Chamberlain in this game, to be honest. If it wasn't for injuries, I think he would have had a very long career at Liverpool. Certainly in the kind of 2017-2018 season, when we were in the Champions League, he was one of the best players in midfield, but that's easy to say. But yeah, he was one of the few kind of attacking midfielders we had, and we saw the difference versus, say, a Wijnaldum or a Milner or so forth. At least Arsenal lost. By the way, did you see AFTV? They're blaming their loss against Bournemouth on PSG, saying they got bigger fish to fry. Yeah, they're gonna have no fish to fry at this point. Like they put out quite a strong team against Bournemouth. Saka was on the pitch for 80 minutes. Oh, Bradley's through here. He's through. Oh, just misses out with the pass there. But like this is the thing. They just delude themselves game after game after game after game. And then when the delusion runs out because they've lost the final game and there's nothing more to hold on to, then they start kind of screaming and hollering. Like there's no bigger fish to fry. PSG looked significantly stronger and they've beaten you at your own ground. What are you going to do against PSG away? Nothing. Elliot Gakpo, Conor Bradley. Borgana, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what it is with kind of Arsenal fans and kind of where these delusions of grandeur come from. They've not won anything for 20 years. But yeah, we will be here on Wednesday when they get knocked out the Champions League and the fume that will follow. Header by Van Dijk, just gone over. Derwood says, I just noticed the goal summary. Yeah, I've gotta make this entertaining somehow. Oh God, I've never quite imagined having Quanz's balls on my face, but this is probably the second best thing. Goal kick. Oh, good tackle there by Jones. Very good tackle there by Jones. Slid in from behind, which is always a bit dangerous, especially in the box, but nicely done. Van Dijk to Endo. It's nice to see. It's nice to see that Endo still on the pitch, kind of regardless of the kind of substitutions that have been made. That's a positive at the very least. Harvey Elliott. Ooh, Connor Bradley with the jet. Got the jets on. Bradley's looked lively, man, since he's come on. He's playing like he's got a point to prove. He doesn't have anything to prove, but he's playing like he's got a point to prove. Absolutely rapid. Bradley looks like he's not hungover. I guess Bradley's probably too young to drink, but even then. Connor Bradley's playing with urgency. He's been on the pitch for a grand total of about 3 seconds, but he might just be the best player so far. Chiesa's had a haircut, I see. Not sure how I feel about Chiesa with shorter hair, but it's tough for Chiesa to look bad. Free kick in a very good position. Honestly, just about 15 yards out, which means we're probably going to fluff it up. Elliot takes it and he fluffs it up. Fish says, what's up, Serbian guy? What's that Serbian guy in Saudi Arabia name? Milinkovic Savic? Is he in Saudi? Something in the back of my head says Milinkovic Savic, who used to play for someone in Italy. Yes, Sergei Milinkovic Savic plays for Al Hilal. Ooh, Nunez with an opportunity, but doesn't quite put it in the back of the net. Sonny says, no man, Arsenal can't win. I want my entertainment. I want the AFTV that I fall in love with, not the Champions League winners BS. Yeah, don't worry, Sonny. You will get the AFTV you've always loved. They ain't winning anything anytime soon. PSG are going to be kind of too strong for them, I think. And also, I think from a league perspective, this was perhaps their opportunity. I think next season, City are going to be stronger. Chelsea are going to be stronger. I don't see Man United as a threat just yet, but they will be stronger. So I think this was their opportunity, and they fluffed it up. And they don't see it yet, because they always think, oh, okay, we'll win the Champions League. You won't. You've never won the Champions League. You don't have the mental strength to win the Champions League. Liverpool win either way, though, I think. Oh, Elliot's through. But the way I see it, it's kind of a win-win. If Arsenal don't win the Champions League, then that's just funny. That's an obvious win. If Arsenal do win the Champions League, then the argument that it's a weak Premier League that Liverpool won, like, disappears even further, right? Because then you can say, okay, we had the Champions League winners and we beat them to a Premier League as well. So how can you say it's a weak Premier League? So I think Liverpool win in either scenario. Savage, is that how you spell his name? No, Milinkovic Savic. Do you want me to... I'll type it for you. And when I say type it for you, I mean copy and paste it. Because it's got accents and shit. V Lunzi 4 says Discord. That's something I need to sort out. It's something I need to sort out. V Lunzi 4. Don't have one yet, but I can add it to my list. My list of admin. Create Discord. Soboslai's on. Thank the Lord. There you go, Fish. Sergey, but it's Sergey with a J at the end. Milinkovic Savic. He's the Serbian guy that plays for Al Hilal. Gakpo. Where's Diaz? Why have we not seen Diaz yet? Diaz is in pretty good form. Cross comes to nothing. Fish says Goo Goo Gaga. Indeed. Sounds similar to Savage. It does. It's perhaps my accent is perhaps not pronouncing it properly. When I say it, it probably sounds similar to Savage. But the correct pronunciation might be Savage or something. I don't know. Back to Kwanzaa. Jones is playing a bit like a third centre-back at the moment. But it's good to see McAllister's on the pitch. So McAllister's come on for Endo. So Jones is playing a bit deeper, which perhaps kind of makes sense because I don't think we need... Oh, Gakpo through to Nunes. Nunes! Oh, God. Fluffed it up. To be fair, I think that might have been a bit harder than it looked there. Good defending by Chalobah, to be fair. Well, I guess we're seeing. Well, I guess we're seeing why there hasn't been a significant amount of rotation throughout the season. Jadon Sancho's coming on. Forgot that he existed. Is that a Taylor Swift song? But yeah, forgot that Sancho existed. Jackson's coming off. Fair play to Chelsea though. They're still making attacking substitutions. Alisson to Kwanzaa. Jones, nice pass to Gakpo. Come on, Cody, do something with it. Crosses it with the left foot. Corner. Why is Kwanzaa still on, asks Derwood. That's a very good question. He's having a horror show of a game. He's having an atrocious game. Especially kind of considering the second goal. What I presume it is you remember the first game of the season where Slot took him off versus Ipswich? And that kind of the media made a big deal about it. He's perhaps trying to protect Kwanzaa's kind of mental state. I don't know. I could be talking nonsense, but he took Kwanzaa off versus Ipswich, and everyone made a big deal about it. So perhaps now he's, I don't know, just trying to boost his morale, maybe. I presume. Alisson to Jones. Jones is the deepest midfielder now that McAllister's come on. So it looks like Jones went into Endo's position. Soboslai's on the pitch. Szoboszlai's hair grows like an inch every week. It's pretty spectacular. Fish says Seske. Don't know what that means. Sunny says, from the video of AFTV I saw, Robbie is still defending Arteta even if they lose the Champions League. Like, there were injuries and all other BS. Is it really that difficult to replace a guy who has nothing to show? It is a bit insane, but like, from my perspective, I'm like, yeah, let them carry on defending him, because the more they defend him, the longer they'll keep him, and the longer they won't achieve anything. You know what I mean? For the money they've spent, which is kind of close to $1 billion, because Arteta went through a phase where he'd spend like 200 million every year. They should be expecting a lot more than what they've got. They've spent $1 billion and they essentially have nothing to show for it, because that FA Cup was won before they bought all these players. So even though it doesn't make any sense, I'm kind of happy that they continue to defend him, because it means they'll keep him for longer. So kind of my thinking on it is, yeah, keep defending Arteta. Give him another 800 million. Let him waste even more money, because then we don't need to be worried about them. Whereas if they were to get a proper manager, then yeah, I'd start being a bit concerned. Salah, Connor Bradley, corner. I think him getting an own goal is making him play even worse. Yeah, potentially. He did try to redeem himself a few minutes after the own goal by going on a solo run through the midfield. Yeah, I guess it's a case of kind of kind of trying to weigh up the options. What's going to make him play worse? Keep him on, or kind of take him off? Yeah, I presume he's probably gonna go in the summer. And this is, it's kind of a no risk game, so they might as well just kind of see if he can play himself into form. Nunes is running around, so that's always nice to see. Ipswich versus Norwich. Raheem Sterling never play forever. Yeah, that's another masterful Arteta signing, isn't it? Ooh, Saba slice through. I think them signing Raheem Sterling was a kind of sign of the times, because they'd spent so much money on players. I don't think they could really... Ooh, Salah with a header! Oh, and it just goes wide. Salah was about... Was he offside? No, he wasn't. Yeah, I think Sterling was perhaps was pretty much their only option. I didn't think at that stage they could spend any more money given what they've spent already. Sonny says, I know you're a Liverpool fan, but whenever I address the situation, Arsenal fan, they just say trust the process, and I'm like, what the hell on this God's green earth is the end goal of all this BS? Yeah, it's just delusion, I guess. There's perhaps is no end goal. It's just a common delusion. Also, like, what process? Like, it's been 5 years now. Like, what process is there to trust? The one kind of opportunity they had, some new kind of bold manager turned up and won the league. So at this point, kind of what process is there? Like it is delusion, and perhaps it's kind of PTSD to a certain degree. And whilst it doesn't make sense, I'm happy for them to kind of continue saying that, because I think as long as they have Arteta, I don't think they're gonna go particularly far. And I think this year was their opportunity. And as you said, next year City are gonna strengthen, Liverpool are gonna strengthen again. Not even again. Liverpool are gonna strengthen for the first time. Chelsea will be stronger. Newcastle will be stronger, a lot stronger. So they are deluded, but I say let them be deluded. Goes to Enzo, goes to Sancho, good save. Boeing Boris underscore 747 says, lol, Raheem Sterling, he supports Man United, the clubs he's been, Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea and Arsenal. Raheem Sterling career is funny. Yeah, he's been around the block, shall we say. I wonder where he'll go next. Is he gonna go to Spurs next or something? But yeah, he's been pretty much everywhere. He's been pretty much everywhere apart from the club that he supports. He's been to the rivals of like every single other club, other than the one that he really wants. Yeah. Once his loan is up this year, I don't think Chelsea are going to want to keep him around. Maybe he can go to, I don't know, a mid-table club or something. But would even like a mid-table club want him? Because even mid-table clubs these days are looking pretty good. Maybe you go abroad. Maybe you go Saudi or something. Neto. Sancho versus Jones. God, have we still not scored? Oh my God, Cole Palmer just hit the post. Cole Palmer's Adam's apple is absolutely gigantic. Fish says Hansi Flick is mine. I didn't know that, but that's it's good to know that you hold ownership over Hansi Flick. Boeing says Tottenham's curse is so bad, I bet they will even lose to Man United in the final of the Europa League to a 13th or even 14th place. Yeah. Their curse is so bad, they'll probably lose to Bodo Glimt the next game, even though they're like 3-1 up. They'll probably concede 4 goals or something. I mean, the Spurs curse has carried over to Harry Kane, hasn't it? He still hasn't won a trophy with Bayern Munich. Oh, Chiesa's coming on. Okay, we can sit up now. We can actually watch this game. We can actually watch this game with a bit of excitement. If Chiesa's on now, does that mean he gets a medal? I don't like his haircut. It looks a bit like, I don't know. He looks like somebody, I don't know who. But I'm happy to see Chiesa on. And he came on for Simicast, fair play. Slot's trying his best here to get something from this. Sunny says, at least my man Xavi can say he's got as a league, and I don't regard La Liga as like what only 3 teams can win realistically. So Arteta should go to a lower league to learn what man management is. A lower league or perhaps a lower team. I think that was one of the concerns about Arteta, that he was an assistant. He was an assistant manager. He's an assistant manager. He's an assistant manager, and then he got a job at Arsenal. So Arsenal literally hired a assistant manager as their manager and gave him £1 billion. Crazy decision, I thought at the time. It's like getting a job with 0 experience. It's like not having a driving license and becoming an Uber driver. It's like you literally never done this before. Salah. They probably should have gone for like somebody a bit more experienced. Like on the one hand, I respect the what's the word? I respect the fact that they were, Oh, my phone's vibrated again because I turned it upside down. So there might be a goal. There might be a goal from this corner because I made the mistake earlier of flipping my phone around and then looking at it as it buzzed. So I'm going to use my psychic powers and say, Virgil van Dijk scores with a header shot, according to my phone. Whatever a header shot is about to happen. McAllister taking a corner, of course, because as soon as McAllister takes corners, we start looking a bit more threatening. McAllister with a corner, Van Dijk with a header shot, and it's a goal. It's a goal for the champs. It's a goal for the champs. I don't remember how do I update the damn score on this thing because it's been so long. Not that one. Two one. Sonny says, hey, at least Harry's going to win his first trophy. Man deserves it for all his legacy. To be honest, I've been like thoroughly against him ever winning a trophy. I've been the biggest Harry Kane hater, but even at this point, I'm like, it's at this point, it's just getting a bit depressing. Just give the guy a trophy at this point. You know what I mean? Like when Leverkusen won the league, I was laughing my head off. When Leverkusen won the cup, I was laughing my head off. Even earlier in the season, with the kind of initial cup, I was laughing my head off. But at this point, I'm like, look, just give the guy a trophy. Just give him something, man. Durwood says, let's go! Let's go indeed. Can we turn it around now? We've got 5 minutes and perhaps a few minutes of injury time. Or stoppage time, as they call it now. Sancho is the Luis Figo of Manchester. How did you come to that conclusion? Is it because Figo went from Barcelona to Real Madrid and Sancho went from Man City to Man United? Is that the conclusion? Darwin here on the right wing wins the foul, I'd say. Gakpo's played well today, I think. I think he's done pretty good. McAllister, Chiesa. Oh God, Chiesa just got bullied right off the ball. that wasn't good. But hey, he's getting into the game. This is his first few minutes he's had for a while. And to be fair to Chiesa, he did run all the way back to defend. Reece James is coming on for his cameo before he's back at the hospital tomorrow. Enzo's coming off, presumably to get another tattoo. I saw he has a new tattoo every time I see him. Is that butterflies on his neck? What's that about? Just replaying his goal. Why is Enzo celebrating like this? Like, what are you doing that for? You like 10th or something? Actually, they're not 10th, but it's like you're 5th. Okay, you're 5th and you're 4 points off 2nd. But even then. If Chelsea get 2nd, Newcastle get 3rd, Man City get 4th, Forest get 5th, and Arsenal get 6th, that would be funny. Alisson, big goal kick, up to Nunes. Gusto's looked pretty decent since he's come on. Who's their number 6? Is that Reece James? No, it's Cole. Sonny says, when I said lower league, I didn't mean English Championship, but like a La Liga Portugal, like FC Porto or Benfica, like Jose did, because not everyone is Pep and Barca's. That was a super team to help Pep. Yeah, well, lots of points there. I think Pep has pretty much always had super teams wherever he's gone. Super team at Barcelona, super team in Germany with Bayern Munich, super team in England. That's why, kind of controversially, I don't hold Pep to the same standards as kind of many do. But yeah, I mean, it could be good for Arteta to go to another league. At this point, he probably wouldn't. He seems a bit kind of egotistical. I don't know kind of based on what, but it seems like that kind of hurt his ego to a certain degree. Perhaps also these other leagues can't pay the wages he'd want. But it'd be good. It'd be good kind of coaching experience for him. My honest prediction is that he will get sacked. Not this year, but possibly next year. And then I guess he'd be forced to take another job. So yeah, maybe next year, like a Porto or Benfica, could be good. He's got a lot to learn. I don't think he's particularly good, kind of tactically, and I think I would even argue a lot of his success could be attributed to the fact that he's spent so much money. Would he be as successful as he is if he didn't spend 105 million on Declan Rice and break the record there? Has he really improved many players? I'm not sure. I was Sterling with you, Kovacic. Is that the Kovacic that plays for Chelsea or a different Kovacic? Ooh, ball goes through Simon Hooper's legs. Gusto then tries to play a 1-2 with Simon Hooper. Gusto on the floor. Gusto wearing some very interesting footwear. Ooh, McAllister just shoved him over, but we don't mind that. We don't mind that, and we actually kind of support that. Alisson long goal kick. Nothing happened. We're running out of time. We're running out of time to grab a point here. Support, is that Isak? You support Isak? Jones heads it back to Alisson. Salah. I thought he was creating a bit of space there. Chelsea on the counter now, but McAllister gets back. Gakpo does well there. Jones just loses the ball. Why is Van Dijk playing number 10 again? See, I know that's mac and cheese backwards, but then you didn't put the and backwards. Chiesa on the left. Chiesa. Wonderful. There's a wonderful pass, like 2 yards to McAllister. Bradley. It's really hard to tell Bradley and McAllister apart sometimes. Oh, Jones loses the ball again. Is Jones? Why has Jones been drinking? Oh, Kukurea and Bradley getting into a little bit of a kind of scuffle there. Is there a penalty? Who to? Who to? That doesn't seem like an excited penalty. So I presume it's a penalty to Chelsea. But on my screen here, it's your best friend, Dawood. It's your best friend, Konza. Oh God, what was that about? What was that about? There's not too much in that, to be fair. Not too much in that. I think Caicedo might have conned the ref a little bit there. Sonny says, when did you start supporting Liverpool? And what was the reason for supporting Liverpool? I will tell you that after this penalty. And Palmer scores. Let me just update the score. When did you start supporting Liverpool, and what was the reason for supporting Liverpool? I think I was about 6 or 7. The reason is, I remember I was in school, and actually, let me update this. I was in school. Basically, I was in school. I was about 6 or 7, and the brother of a girl in my class said, "You should support Liverpool because they're really, really good." And I was basically convinced. That's honestly the origin story. It wasn't even a girl in my class. It was the older brother of a girl in my class, and he was like, "Nah, you need to support Liverpool because they're really good," and he convinced me. That's about it. Kwanzaa should have been taken off after the 5th minute. Yeah, you were probably right about that. To be fair, he's had a bit of a disaster. So we can perhaps say that the Kwanzaa experiment is over. So it's safe to presume a certain Ibrahim Konate will start the next game. Yeah. I think you were right. He's had a bit of a disaster of a game, and we can appreciate the mistake happened for the second goal, but then to also kind of give away a penalty. It's not great. So it'll be interesting to see is Slot gonna kind of persist with this in the next game, or is he gonna revert? Or is he gonna revert back to Konate? But yeah, full time by the looks of it. At least Palmer finally scored. Yeah, finally kind of got his goal. We should take this as a wake up call, even though we're the champions and we don't really care. On the one hand, on the other hand, you can't be losing 3-1. So hoping to see a better performance next time out. Fish says, "Oh yay. Agree. That's probably what Chelsea fans are saying right now." Can you believe if the boys said Spurs are very good and start supporting Spurs, it would be Spursy? Yeah, you're right. You are right about that. That boy could have said anything. He could have said, I don't know. He could have said Everton. Everton are really, really good. Therefore, you should support Everton. And if that boy, when I was 6, had said that, I'd be supporting Everton instead or Spurs instead. So yeah, it's kind of funny. Like this person has had a major impact on my life and has absolutely no idea and will never have any idea. I don't know if he's even dead. He's probably might be dead now. But crazy, isn't it? So yeah, overall, pretty rubbish performance, pretty kind of uninspiring. Pretty boring, I'd say, but thankfully the kind of chat kept things a bit more kind of interesting compared to what was on the pitch. Definitely the chat was more interesting than watching Liverpool play. But yeah, 3-1 loss. On the one hand, not too fussed. On the other hand, slightly annoyed, but it is what it is. Cool. All right. Well, that's another game done. I'll be back on Tuesday for Inter Milan Barcelona, I believe, on Tuesday. We are just helping the top 5 fight. True. That's a nice. I do like that kind of positive way of kind of spinning it. So, thanks to the 3 points we've just awarded to Chelsea. Chelsea are only 4 points. Chelsea are only 4 points behind Arsenal now. Between kind of second to fifth, there's only 4 points in it. So yeah, we are making things a bit more exciting below us. I mean, that's what being a football fan is. You became a fan of the team and stay a fan until death. That is true. That is true. The origin story of why I became a Liverpool fan is a bit odd, but yeah, you are correct about that. Sunny says bye. Yep, bye, Sunny. Hopefully see you on Tuesday. So you won't do an Arsenal kind of failure stream? Is that like generally making fun of Arsenal? Probably not. I think the next game is Inter Barcelona on Tuesday, so we'll do that, and then it's Arsenal PSG on Wednesday. So yeah, in terms of Arsenal and making fun of Arsenal, it will be Wednesday when they lose to PSG, and they get knocked out because Kvaratskhelia will score. And then yeah, we'll laugh at Arsenal on Wednesday when we watch that. Derwood says see you Tuesday. Yeah, see you Tuesday as well. Should be a good one. It'll be a lot more exciting than today's game. I'm sure of it, and I'll be a bit more well rested. I'm still a bit jet lagged, as you can probably tell. So I mean a UCL collapse, maybe. Well, maybe after the UCL is collapsed, we will do something kind of making fun of them. Sunny says, okay, bye, hasta la vista, adios, and sayonara. Quite a few languages there. Appreciate that. And yeah, as I was saying, see you on Tuesday. See you on Tuesday, where I will be less jet lagged and we'll have a more entertaining game. So yeah, see you on Tuesday. Thanks, guys. Take care.